we're going to start today with a crime keyword matchup using some of the Marxist ideas around crime. So what I want you to do is look at the definitions on the left-hand side of your screen and match them up with the keywords on the right-hand side. Jot them down into your books and we'll go through them in a minute. Press pause. Okay, let's have a look at the answers then. So we've got wrongfully deceiving or lying to other people, resulting in financial or personal gain. We can see that goes with fraud. Making someone do something for you by giving the person something in return, bribery. Actions that are dishonest and are undertaken by a person or company with authority, resulting in gain, is corruption. Dealing with a company's stock, money or other property in return for confidential information is insider trading. And then we've got failing to take proper care of something that can result in damage, negligence. And sorry, I missed out. This is when a person or company intentionally gains company money for personal use and gain, and that's embezzlement. Jot down any you missed. Move on to the next slide. The ones here then that are highlighted in green need to be put into your glossary. So fraud being wrongfully deceiving others, resulting in financial or personal gain. Embezzlement being when a company or person intentionally takes company money for personal use or gain. And negligence, failure to take proper care of something that can result in damage. Those three need to be put into your glossary. So press pause and do that, please. Okay, so we've got a lesson title for today. What are corporate and white collar crimes? Jot those into your book, please, as titles and today's date. So we've got some information here about white collar and corporate crime to start off the learning that we've got going on today. So what we need to think about is many crimes are linked to the work a person does. This is called occupational crime. Marxists are interested in the types of crimes committed by the ruling class connected to their jobs, and these things, and what is really important, is they're often ignored by the police and the courts. And as you can imagine, Marxists, with their interest in exploitation by the bourgeoisie towards the proletariat, are going to be particularly concerned with this. So, two sociologists you need to jot down knowledge of. Edwin Sutherland in 1960. So he was the first sociologist to look at middle and upper class crime, and he came up with the term white collar crime, as middle and upper class people are likely to wear white collar shirts and ties due to the sort of jobs that they do. They're not doing the manual labour jobs in factories and so on. They're more sort of management roles. And then we've got Gary Slapper and Steve Tombs, who split upper class crime into two distinct categories. So I want you to make a note in your glossary as these key words, these two categories that Slapper and Tombs came up with. White collar crime, crimes committed by higher class individuals for their own gain, innocent people often losing out. And then corporate crime, crimes committed for the benefit of large companies, not individuals. But individuals may benefit because the company is successful, the individual may get pay rises, promotions, etc., etc. So again, press pause, jot those key bits into your book. Okay, so very quickly, whiz down this table, draw it into your books, and then I want you to write down whether the issue that you've been told about, the crime, is a white collar crime or is it a corporate crime. So we've got a department store manager stealing stock, which is white collar crime, because the store manager is gaining. A doctor providing false prescriptions for drugs, it's white collar. A company breaking pollution laws and dumping waste into a local river, is corporate. A police officer accepting a bribe from a criminal gang, is white collar. A business forcing workers to work in unsafe conditions to cut costs, is corporate. And a bank manager telling lies on his tax return so that he'll pay less tax, is white collar. So make sure you've got those jotted down as examples into your books. Okay, so what you're going to do on the next slide, this table of questions is in your Google Classroom. So the first thing you need to do, if you possibly can, is print that out. If you can't print it out, then you are going to have to answer the questions into your book bit by bit, I'm afraid. So see how you go. If you can print it out, that'd be helpful. So examples of white collar and corporate crime. So these might be things that you've heard about. So they're all relatively recent. I say relatively recent, 11 years ago for the MP expenses scandal. I appreciate you would have been probably toddlers, a little bit more than toddlers, but believe me, when you're as old as me, these are all quite recent. So we've got the MP's expenses scandal, we've got the Smiler accident at Alton Towers, and we've got a scandal, News of the World scandal, often referred to as the phone hacking scandal. What I want you to do is I want you to press on the links that you can see here, and again they're also in the Google Classroom, and then you will go through answering the questions on the sheet, or indeed writing the answers into your books. If you write on the sheet, please stick it into your books. If you answer the questions, obviously it'll already be there. Press pause. This activity will take you a good 20-25 minutes. Thank you. I've just put this table onto another slide for you if it's easier for you to see the questions from here rather than open another document. And finally, what you've got is a paragraph or so about the main things we've picked up this lesson. And what I would like you to do is, using the words on the side there, they all are, I would like you to take the words, each word appears one time, take the words and put them into the gaps. Press pause, have a go at that. And then finally, here are the answers. So we've got Marxists argue that crime is also committed by the ruling class linked to their jobs. This is called occupational crime. According to Slapper and Toombs, there are two types of occupational crime. These are white collar and corporate crime. A white collar crime is a crime committed by an individual for their own benefit. This includes the expenses scandal, where MPs use taxpayers' money to pay for their own things. A corporate crime is a crime committed by a company and innocent people lose out. This includes the Smiler accident in 2015 and the News of the World scandal, where phones were hacked by journalists. Marxists say these crimes need to be investigated more with harsher punishments. So, once that paragraph is written into your book, and you've picked up all these bits of glossary and things that you need, and you've stuck the sheet into your book from the main 3 bits of video that you've watched, you have finished today's lesson. Thank you very much for listening.